When we're describing domain and range, we have to look at them as two separate things. When we're talking about domain being all the x values, we scan left to right and we determine if there is an end or a beginning, and we have to define from beginning to end or infinity to infinity, negative to positive. And when we're talking about range, we're looking at the y values, which means we're scanning from bottom to top, or negative infinity to positive infinity, going from down and up. So if I were to look at this example of the graph on the right-hand side, and I want to describe the domain and the range, as I said, I would do it two different ways. I would first describe my domain, and I would look from left to right. The furthest left I have is over here where it's highlighted yellow. And there's an arrow pointing up, which means that the left-hand side is continuing on forever and ever. So it's going left, negative infinity. So the left side is going to negative infinity. As I then proceed to travel across the graph, from left to right, I keep going until I get to the point where it seems to stop. Where that graph stops is the point right in here. All I'm really concerned about, though, when I'm going left to right, is how far right it goes. So it stops at x equals 1. So x is at positive 1. And it ends there. So the description would be all real numbers less than or equal to 1. Now when I look at my range, I'm going to look at it from a different view. I'm going to look at its lowest point to its highest point. So now, looking at the range, my lowest point is highlighted in blue at 0, 0. And again, now I'm only concerned with the y values. So I know its lowest point, or beginning point, is at y equals 0. And as I continue looking upwards in this graph, yes, it stops right there at that point, but the left side of it keeps going up and up and up. So again, I want to see how far up it's going, and that arrow is pointing upwards, which means that it's going to positive infinity. So my range would be described as all values, all real numbers, greater than or equal to 0, and it continues forever.